Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Week Deep Dive, covering market moves in indexes, sectors, stocks, and global markets for the week ending Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes all posted gains with several reaching new milestones. The S&P 500 index and the Dow 30 index both reached new all-time highs, as did the Nasdaq Composite and the Russell 2000. Very strong positive trends are evident across all major indexes. Market breadth shows broad strength across major indexes. The S&P 500 saw 281 advancing stocks versus 214 declining. The Nasdaq Composite showed particularly robust participation with 1,852 advancers compared to 1,321 decliners. Looking at weekly returns, the Russell 2000 led gains with a 1.7% advance, followed by the Nasdaq Composite at 1.3%. Year-to-date, the Nasdaq leads with an 18% return, while the S&P 500 has gained 14.2%. Long-term performance shows the Nasdaq Composite leading with a 17.1% average annual return over 10 years. The S&P 500 follows with a 13.1% 10-year annual rate, while the Dow has returned 11% annually.
Checking out best and worst performing equities, I'm Penny Stock. Leading the pack, Dragonfly Energy surged 261% to 1.89, closing up 3 weeks straight. Beneficient followed with a 147% gain amid strong volatility. JFB Construction hit an all-time high at 15.41. Weekly returns show Dragonfly Energy leading with a 261% gain and 34% average daily return. Beneficient posted a 147% weekly return. Titan Pharmaceuticals showed strong momentum with a 74% average daily return this month. Long-term performance reveals challenges. Titan Pharmaceuticals shows a 73% one-year gain despite a 10-year decline of nearly 100%. Dragonfly Energy and Beneficient both remain down over 60% for the year. Among large caps, Western Digital led gains, up 22.8% to 131.31, marking 8 straight winning weeks. Fair Isaac jumped 21.8%, while Coinbase Global advanced 21.5%. Micron hit a new all-time high at 187.83. Weekly returns show Western Digital leading with a 22.9% gain. Fair Isaac and Coinbase both posted weekly returns above 21%. Month to date, Fair Isaac leads with a 23.7% return. Long-term performance shows Western Digital up 161% over 1 year, with a strong 72% 3-year annual return. Fair Isaac boasts an impressive 36% 10-year annual return. Coinbase shows 79% annual returns over 3 years. Leading declines, Kala Pharmaceuticals plunged 91.9% to 1.54, hitting an all-time low. Dark Iris dropped 90.7%, while Delixi Holdings fell 87.3% amid strong downward volatility. Moonlake Immunotherapeutics tumbled 86.4%. Weekly performance shows Kala Pharmaceuticals with the steepest decline at -91.9%, averaging -22.5% daily. Dark Iris and Delixi Holdings both averaged daily losses exceeding -21%. Month to date, Mason Glory leads losses at -87.7%. Leading the declines this week, Kala Pharmaceuticals plunged 91.9% to 1.54, hitting a new all-time low. Dark Iris and Delixi Holdings also saw steep drops of 90.7% and 87.3%, respectively. Mason Glory and Moonlake Immunotherapeutics rounded out the worst performers, both falling over 86%. Among large caps, Valero Energy led the declines, dropping 8.6% to 160.40, despite hitting a new one-year high last week. Apollo Global Management fell 8.5% amid strong downward volatility. Paycom Software, Philip Morris International, and Corteva each declined between 6.9% and 7.1%. Looking at weekly returns, Valero Energy and Apollo Global Management both fell over 8.5%. Paycom Software dropped 7.2% for the week, while Philip Morris declined 7%. Corteva has now closed lower for 3 consecutive weeks. Over the longer term, Apollo Global Management shows strong growth with a 10-year annual return of 21.5%, despite recent weakness. Paycom Software has delivered 18.5% annually over the past decade. Philip Morris International and Valero Energy have posted more modest 10-year annual returns of 6.7% and 9.8% respectively.
And now onto U.S. sector performance, where healthcare leads the pack with a substantial 6.8% weekly gain. Utilities and technology both hit new all-time highs, with utilities showing very strong upward volatility. Technology has maintained an impressive streak, closing up 5 consecutive weeks. Market breadth is notably positive across these top sectors. Healthcare shows strong participation with 659 advances versus 363 declines. Utilities demonstrates broad strength with more than 3/4 of its components advancing. Technology and industrials also maintain healthy advance decline ratios. Looking at returns, healthcare leads weekly performance with a 6.8% gain. Utilities and technology follow with gains of 2.3% and 2.2% respectively. Year-to-date, technology shows the strongest performance with a 22.8% return. Long-term performance shows technology dominating with a 10-year annual return rate of 23.7%. Industrials follows with 11.6%, while basic materials and healthcare both maintain steady growth near 8% annually.
Healthcare stocks showed remarkable strength this week. Bio-Techne and Charles River Laboratories led the advance, surging over 19%. Thermo Fisher Scientific, Biogen, and Moderna also posted strong gains above 16%, all displaying robust upward momentum. Looking at weekly returns, Bio-Techne topped the group with a 21.4% gain, averaging nearly 4% daily. Charles River Laboratories showed notable volatility while rising 19.3%. Month to date, these healthcare leaders have all gained over 10%, though year-to-date performance remains mixed. In the longer term, Thermo Fisher Scientific stands out with a 10-year return of 336%, averaging nearly 16% annually. Charles River Laboratories and Bio-Techne both delivered strong decade-long gains around 170%. Moderna, being newer to the market, doesn't have 10-year metrics.
The worst-performing sectors were led by energy, dropping 3.3% to 680.11, despite maintaining a strong upward trend. Communication services and consumer cyclical both declined for a second consecutive week, while maintaining very strong positive trends. Market breadth analysis shows financial services with notably weak participation, as declines outnumbered advances by nearly 2-1 in daily trading. Consumer cyclicals showed balanced activity with advances and declines nearly even across timeframes. Weekly returns highlight the pressure on energy, down 3.3%, while communication services fell 2.1%. Year-to-date, however, communication services leads this group with a 22.2% gain, showing strong longer-term performance despite recent weakness. Looking at longer-term performance, communication services stands out with a 150% three-year total return, averaging 35.7% annually. Consumer defensive shows the weakest decade-long performance with just a 5.8% average annual return over 10 years.
Energy stocks faced significant pressure this week. Valero Energy dropped 8.6% despite hitting a new one-year high last week. Targa Resources fell 6.8% while showing strong downward momentum. EOG Resources declined 5.5% amid increasing downward volatility. Weekly returns show significant declines across the energy sector. Valero Energy led losses with an 8.7% weekly decline. Targa Resources and Devon Energy followed with weekly drops of 6.8% and 6.6% respectively. Long-term returns reveal mixed performance. Targa Resources shows the strongest three-year returns at 157%, while Devon Energy and Occidental Petroleum both show negative returns across all timeframes, with 10-year losses of 15% and 35% respectively.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Profit, along with my AI co-host Penny Stock. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.